So everyone on YouTube, including me, likes horror, so that's universal. And one thing I and a lot of others particularly love is horror animation, so I thought they're being made constantly, yet I don't react to them. Free bloody content, mate. So I thought, why the fuck not? Come on, let's just watch some animations and we'll try not to schnizzle our pants. Oh wait, hold on, it's horror, innit? It's a really nice day, so I open the blinds. I can't have the bloody blinds open. What's wrong with me? Right, it's all bloody spooky now, isn't it?
When I was 16, I lived with my parents in a normal home in the suburbs. My parents were the type to take a lot of trips, both for work and leisure, and would do so all throughout the year. So when they would go during the school year, I'd stay home and watch the house for anywhere from a couple days to a whole week.
You look like Linguini. Sorry.
I didn't mind, and sometimes even enjoyed it. During this week, my parents were both away for 6 days, so pretty much every night I'd go out and get food from somewhere.
Fuck yes. 270-hour wank session. Commence.
It was on the second night alone that I played video games on the computer for nearly 4 hours straight. It was a Friday, so I was staying up late and didn't have to do any homework.
I hear
But
that.
around 8:15, I realized I hadn't even eaten anything yet. I took a break and got in my car, driving to a sandwich shop nearby.
Oh, they broke out. I was going to say, is this that Fears to Fathom game? This sounds very similar. Oh, no, because that guy didn't have gaming. He didn't have a gaming setup. He just slept. He just fucking slept all day and then did homework. You know how sad that is? Like, this room, this is my life. This part of my bedroom, like, the rest of it is shitty. Like, I've destroyed the walls. Like, all there is just one bed, and that is it. And the rest of it, and then you get to this corner and it's worth like three grand or something like that. That's all I do with my life is this corner.
It was close to closing time, so I wasn't expecting a line or anything. But when I walked in, there was a single man standing at the counter. He looked like he'd just ordered and was waiting for his food.
Right.
I stepped around him and an employee took my order. Then I stood behind the man.
Okay, no, not that face. I was going to say, if you're talking about the hair, if you're judging the hair, I just got back from Jamaica and, I mean, that's just common, isn't it? A lot of people have hairy arms and long hair. Come on, there's just...
Waited as well. While I was there, though, I noticed how rugged the man looked. He was tall and skinny, wearing beat-up clothes, and having long, thinning hair. He got his order and left.
That doesn't look like it's thinning. That's thicker than Ice Spice, mate. Fuck off.
But I couldn't help but watch him leave, intrigued by his unusual appearance. A couple minutes later, I got my food and went out to my car, getting in and leaving.
Just leave people alone. How about that? Just leave people the fuck alone. It's not your business why he looks like that. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's like, oh cool, I got money, I got whatever. I don't care how I look. I'm just chilling.
It wasn't very busy out, so I got home pretty quick. I went to my room and sat at my desk and turned on a video to watch while I ate.
Fuck yeah.
It was 9 p.m. by then, but I wasn't that tired and was planning on staying up for another few hours at least. As I sat there though, I heard a quick and subtle sound from downstairs.
Suck my balls.
I paused the video and listened, but didn't hear anything more. I stood up and leaned my head into the hallway, listening again, but still not hearing anything. At this point, I still didn't know what the sound was. I wasn't paying attention enough, and it was so quick that I couldn't even really tell where in the house it came from. Although thinking it was probably nothing, I still wanted to be sure, so I walked downstairs and looked around. There wasn't much to see. Everything was just how it had been left, but as I walked past the front door, I realized what the sound was. I grabbed the door handle and shook it, recreating the exact sound I heard. Someone had tested the door. I quickly looked out the peephole.
Bomb!
Not seeing anything, and I ran around to the back door.
Hold on, I need light for this joke. Fucking hell. And then I ran around to the like, my fucking neighbours just watched me pull the blind up to do this and then stop. For fuck's sake. That's fine, they've seen worse shit.
I scanned the backyard until my eyes fell on a figure. They were facing away from the house,
It's
standing at the door to the shed.
Course,
He was tall and thin, and after a few seconds, I was almost positive that it was the man I'd seen earlier that night at the sandwich shop.
Boy.
Only a moment later, though, he forced the shed doors open and stepped in. I took this as my chance.
Live in there. That's fine. That's your shed now. You can fucking live in there. As long as I get to keep breathing, I'm happy. Matter of fact, take the fucking... I'll give you a tour. I'll give you a tour. And I don't mean the Onion theme browser. I'll give you a bloody tour, mate. Live in my house.
So I ran up to my room and dialed 911 as I watched the shed from my room.
I'm such a pussy.
So I ran up to my room and dialed 911 as I watched the shed from my room window. The operator said officers were en route, but less than a minute later, the man rushed out of the shed holding several large tools. He hurried toward the house, heading straight for the back door. I ran out into the hallway to see if I could do anything to stop him, or maybe even run out of the house. But I was stopped by the piercing thud of metal slamming against the back door. My adrenaline spiked, and in those few moments, I made the decision.
Even if I got a fucking gun pulled on me, I don't think I could make that face. Oh, fucking hell.
To run for it. I sprinted down the stairs and straight for the front door, seeing the man continuing to break down the back door. I ran out into my front yard and onto the street, running to the corner of the block. A few minutes passed before 2 police cars pulled into the driveway and went in through the open front door. I made my way back to the house.
2 minutes? It's in the rich neighborhood.
They pulled the man out and locked him in their car.
Oh, they got him?
They found him holding a heavy pipe wrench that he'd gotten from my parents' shed. Inside the house, though, it looked like the man went on a rampage, destroying everything he could in the few minutes it took for the cops to show up.
I don't understand the fuck. Why? Where? I see a lot of people at McDonald's and I don't know.
4 years ago, I lived in a very small 1-bedroom house with one of my best friends. We couldn't afford anything bigger, so that's why we settled with a 1-bedroom.
What's going on with your best friend's lip?
I slept on the living room, and my friend slept in the actual bedroom. This happened in fall, when it was just starting to get cold. My friend had taken a few days to go visit his sister a few hours away, so I was the only one at the house. This was over the weekend, too.
Well, that's awful.
So I got to spend both entire days enjoying having the space to myself.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna edge on the sofa, I'm gonna edge on the bed, I'm gonna edge in the sink, mate. That's where you go in fear of you accidentally mess up your edging session, as you gotta be over the sink.
But it was just nice to not be crammed together in a tiny house for once. Anyway, on Sunday night, I went out to pick up some groceries and got home around 7. I had work the next day, but given the unusual circumstances, I decided to stay up a little later and watch a movie. I stayed there on the couch for at least an hour, almost finishing the movie, when there was a quiet thump from down the hallway. I looked over, not seeing anything, and figuring it was just the house, so I kept on with the movie. For the next 30 minutes, there were no other sounds, so the thump was completely insignificant and had fully left my mind.
No.
Once the movie was over,
you don't ignore a thump. Not a thump. Anything. A creak. That's fine. Creak's fine. Houses creak. Not a thump. A thump is intentional. I don't like intentional thumps around here. Especially not big.
Once the movie was over, I filled up my water bottle and went back to the futon, pulling it out into a bed and laying down. I was on my phone for a while, but I fell asleep sometime around 11. When I woke up, my eyes felt really heavy and my vision was blurry. I wasn't sure why I'd woken up, but I knew it was still late into the night. I rubbed my eyes a bit and looked over at the clock, but a very faint sound came from the other side of the house. Wood creaking. like someone carefully walking across the floorboards.
Just give me 1 second. I'll show you what you do in this situation. So this is Betty. Now, Betty doesn't like people in my house that shouldn't be in my house. I just got it from my parents' kitchen for a joke. Honestly.
My heart rate started rising as I got off the futon and walked over to the hallway.
What the fuck is a futon? Why do I keep... Oh, it's like a sofa, innit?
The creaking had stopped, but looking down the hallway, I got this terrifying feeling. I walked down until I reached the door to my friend's bedroom. Then I leaned against it and listened.
Okay, that's what you hear. You just got to the door. It's a lemon.
It was quiet, not even a sound coming from the house. I slowly twisted the door handle and pushed it open a few inches, moving my eyes across the room as I continued to open the door wider.
You're ballsy, you are.
It looked empty, but I quickly noticed how messy the room was. There were things scattered around all over the floor and bed. Confused, I took a step into the room and flicked on the light.
It's over for him.
Instantly, from the corner of my eye, I saw a figure move away from the gap between the closet door.
If I said his GTA character looking ass motherfucker walk... I'm telling you, this is why I have an open flop. You can't tell from here because I've made this backdrop look really fucking nice. But honestly, my room is so open. There is no way you can possibly hide. I don't have a big room, by the way. That makes it sound like my room's fucking huge. It's not. But I don't have any cupboards or anything. I have a bed that you can't possibly get under. I have my clothes in drawers under my bed. And then just my desk next to my bed. That's it. My desk, my bed... And then the whole room is empty. Like, literally corner to corner, just empty.
I jumped out of the room and slammed the door shut, then ran to get my phone as I heard the closet door opening and footsteps going into the hallway.
These Gen Zs. What's wrong with kids nowadays? Now, I know you need to call the police, but the thing is... No, actually, don't. No, there's no thing. Just leave. Just leave the fucking house. You don't need to call the police if you are in the house... with the man that is about to seize your life. No, just leave. You can run like, I don't know, 200 meters up the road and get like Mr. Jeremy to call the fucking police for you. It doesn't matter. If the police are on the line and they catch the guy, good. But if you're not alive, then I don't care. If I'm not alive when they catch the guy, I don't care. I'm a selfish man, okay? I want to live.
I ran to the back door, seeing a large man coming down the hallway toward me. I got out and went through the backyard, but the man didn't follow. A minute later, I got to where I felt safe and called the police. They searched the house, but ultimately found nothing useful in figuring out who the man was or why he was there. They also aren't entirely sure how he got into the house, but it's likely he broke in while I was away getting groceries that night.
Oh.
My friend was just as terrified as I was once I told him everything, and we eventually
broccoli head off.
we moved out of the house, hopefully to never encounter that man again.
I don't agree with how he handled that situation, but I think moving away was a good idea. Boy, that is just a scary thing though, shit. Just being home alone, like, fundamentally is fucking scary, dude. I don't want to, like... Not being home alone, having something happen while you're home alone, I mean. Not being home alone. I'm home alone quite a lot. It's quite fun. I get to film YouTube videos. Yeah. Get to be as loud as I want and go, show young. And now I'm about to bloody mate. But at the moment, it's 8:30 in the morning. And I'm not home alone, so I've just pissed everyone off. But we're all good.
I had bought my first house in my early 20s and lived alone. I was content and at peace living alone and decided to buy a house out in the country as opposed to the urban setting my apartment was located in. I had a few neighbors, but most kept to themselves, as I did as well. The house was a ranch-style home, which meant that there was no second floor, only a basement and first floor. The master bedroom was on the back side of the house, looking straight into the small backyard, and then nothing but woods beyond that.
Man.
Since the basement was underground, The outside entry door had what is referred to as a bilko door, which is composed of 2 steel doors that swing out to each side, then a set of steps taking you down to a standard size entry door into the basement of the house. I normally do not keep those bilko exterior doors locked, especially in the summertime, in case I need to get into the basement from the backyard. During the winter, though, I don't need to get in or out of the basement, so I lock those doors, and sometimes even in the fall as well.
This dude's face. How you should lock it? I assume he means he locks it at night, right? Not during the day. But shit, dude, you better keep them shits locked, because fuck, straight into the basement. Otherwise, Betty's gonna have...
Peaceful and enjoyable. I could walk out my back door and go hunting in the woods behind my house. I would get up in the mornings on days off and just open my garage door from sunrise to sunset with no issues at all with anyone coming around uninvited.
Oh.
I worked a rotating 12-hour day/night shift schedule, which was brutal to get used to. I often had trouble switching from night
How the hell does your head change shape when you're asleep?
shift to day shift, either sleeping too much or not enough. But the work schedule repeated itself in a pattern, so it was nice to at least plan days off in advance.
This dude goes to work and leaves the garage door. I mean, the garage doesn't lead to the house. That's separate, I think. So that's fine. As long as it doesn't lead to the house. Because you can get home, see the garage open. It looked pretty empty. You'd be like, okay, there's no one in there. That's fine. We'll look up. But, shit. Don't do that.
One particular night in December, I had just finished my 3 work days of night shift. It was hard trying to fall asleep at night on that first night off, but it was essential to get my body back to sleeping at night again, to change back to the day shift work schedule, which I needed for the following 3 days. This first transition night, I would typically sleep very lightly. It had been snowing outside since dark, which was around 5 p.m., and a few inches were already on the ground by the time I went to bed around 11.
Come on, that's a lot of snow. That's very thick. 3 inches. Bloody hell. Try not to get snowed under, mate. 3 inches is a lot, okay? 3 inches is a lot.
And I fell asleep within the hour. I woke up around 3 a.m., and the house was dead silent. I laid there in the complete darkness, hoping I would drift right back to sleep soon. But after just 2 to 3 minutes, I heard a violent banging right outside my bedroom window. I recognized the sound as
that fucking face again. I love it.
Trying to open the locked basement bilko doors.
Fuck.
I jumped out of bed and ran down the long...
Man, this motherfucker runs like... So I made sure to quickly
to the opposite end of the house, where the rear sliding glass door was, and the outside floodlight switches. I switched on the lights and looked out the sliding glass door toward the basement bilko doors. There was nobody there. I looked closer and could see fresh footprint tracks in the snow coming from the small path in the woods leading right up to the basement doors. There was no snow on the handle to pull the doors open, indicating that someone recently tried to open them. I saw a second set of footprints leading away from the basement doors with what is sometimes called a rooster tail, indicating someone ran as fast as they could away from the house.
Man, this dude car. Track 2, I like this, Donnie.
Leaving the floodlights turned on to the back side of the house. I decided to follow the tracks into the woods at daybreak, but the newly fallen snow and blowing wind had covered them up completely after I made it a few feet into the woods.
I like this dude bringing the big old buck. In England, you can't even have that. Some people do, but generally you can't have that. Also, the policia don't seem to like it if I take Betty with me on a little hunting trip. Fucking hell.
I concluded whoever it was trying to break in probably heard my 240-pound body charging down the hallway inside the house, and they ran off into the woods before I was able to get to the sliding glass door and turn on the lights.
You're a big boy, aren't you? Shit.
I decided to not call the police, since nothing was damaged or stolen. From that day on, I made sure to keep all the doors locked and no longer left the garage open all day unless I was working there.
Oh, that's good.
8 years later, I sold the house without any further incidents occurring since that one particular event.
Oh, I was just checking if that was the video. I mean, they weren't the most horrifying. You know, I heard some worse stories on these types of things. But, man, lock your motherfucking doors. And especially if you live in America with them big old, like, I forgot what they're called. Big old, like, little doors to the basement and that. Please lock them shits because, shit, I don't want none of you getting killed, you know what I mean? Just lock your doors. If you live alone and you're not going to piss your parents off, lock your windows. You know, you can lock windows, you've got little keys and shit. Just lock everything. But anyway, I bloody hope you enjoyed. Okay, expect more of these because, honestly, I struggle very much with video ideas. I mean, when I really, like, focus, which I'm on now, I'm focusing again. I made a video a while ago saying, you know, I'm working out now, I've got video ideas, I'm on my shit, and then I messed it up again. It's been 3 months since I said that, 4 months. So I'm back on it now, like back on it. Either way, I really hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, expect more of these. You know, I don't do much, but if you like me, you can stick around because I sit here, I make my little jokes and shit. Also, I forgot to mention, me and my best mates just made a group channel. If you're interested in that, you know, we're kind of weird. It's like 2 versions of me, but less funny, obviously. I'm just kidding. They're more funny than me, actually. But they're weirder. So, yeah, go and check that out if you want. Get to see what a wilder's eye looks like in public. Pissing all the grandmas off in the street. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. I said that 3 times. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video, briskets. Bye. Yeet.